This right here is the brand new LEGO Ideas Home Alone set. Super awesome. It got announced yesterday and I made a review video. If you guys haven't checked that out, I'll leave a link down below in the description. Go check that out. But this might look a little different from what you might expect. If you guys watched yesterday's video, there's a lot more landscape. It's a lot more wide than yesterday, and that is because we are actually going to be turning the LEGO Ideas McAllister home into a modular compatible Lego house. I figured a lot of people would want to know how to actually turn this home into something they could add into their own modular collection or Lego city or wherever it may be, and I decided to actually time myself to 1 hour to make this thing fully compatible while still retaining all of the play features that are included in the set. So what is a Lego modular? Well, I have one right here. So a Lego modular is something very popular that the Lego group makes, especially with AFOLs in their Lego cities. It's essentially this really cool building that has Technic bricks on either side. You could actually put Technic pins and connect all of the buildings together. You can make a really cool like street side view or like a neighborhood or something like that, and I felt like people would want to definitely know how to make the Home Alone set and customize it so that way these two would be compatible. I tried actually just placing the Home Alone set as it came fresh out the box next to the modulars, and it looked okay. There were a couple of restrictions. Obviously on the side, the little white Technic piece that controls a lot of the play features inside of the set was really restrictive on how it sort of went up against other houses. On the other side, there were some hinge bricks a part of the McAllister home that just didn't really seem right, and then the roof obviously was a big hindrance. So what I decided to do was actually extend the entirety of the base of the Home Alone house and essentially build a little mini landscape, but also incorporate the pieces that you could use to connect all of the modulars together. So first things first, I had to get the entire McAllister Home Alone house on a base plate. All of the modulars in Lego form are fresh out of the box that come on base plate. So I decided to use two 32 by 32 gray base plates. Unfortunately, the McAllister home is a little bit like weird with its size, so you're gonna need something bigger than a 32 by 32, but maybe not quite as big as a 48, which I decided to keep. So we got two base plates here. I lined up the door of the McAllister home right in the center of both the base plates and basically just forcefully pushed the Home Alone set down to connect onto the base plates. So once I had that firmly set on the base plates, what I had to do next was grab some 1x2 Technic bricks. That way you can seamlessly fit both the home and the other modulars together. What I had to do was basically grab another modular that I have, line them up side by side, and make sure the 1x2 Technic bricks were being placed at exactly the right point. This is very important, and you definitely don't want to mess this up in the beginning, because when you start building on top of it, it's going to be a really big pain if you go to connect them and then they're off by 1 brick or 2 bricks, and you have to go in, taking apart all of the stuff you just worked on. So make sure you are very meticulous when it comes to placing these bricks in the right spot. Now after you have that, it's actually pretty simple. All you have to do is start having fun building around the set. Now I chose and opted to do a wider snowy landscape. This was the easiest thing, and like I said, I only had an hour to work on this project. That was my own sort of challenge, so I actually used a bunch of extra pieces I had from a leftover mock from years ago, and I decided to only limit myself to pieces I found in that bin. Now there's not a huge variety of parts. I used a bunch of tile, a bunch of curb slopes, and of course a bunch of bricks and plates, and if you match them correctly on the landscape, it actually looks really cool. So I started working my way from the side of the house to the back, making sure that everything looked pretty cool, and then moving towards the front of the house. Now I do want to give a disclaimer, this is not going to work with everyone's Lego city. The way we're modding the McAllister home idea set is typically works with factory out of the box Lego modulars. Some people like to make their Lego cities different. Some people like to make their Lego cities up on a brick height and other stuff like that. So keep in mind, this might not work with your particular Lego city setup, but it's going to be a very similar process, so it's still going to help you a ton. I went around the entirety of the McAllister home, just basically fitting different types of pieces just to kind of see what fit. This was a lot of trial and error, and sometimes I didn't like what came out of it, and sometimes I really did. So I finished laying up the white landscape, and the last thing I did was actually added a bunch of different types of green. Having the white is a really nice color for the snow, but having green as another color palette on the set and on the mock, I would say, this is technically my own creation with the set at the centerpiece. The green gives a lot of really cool aesthetic. I also added some 1x1 smaller pieces to make it look like there's like snow covering the bushes, which I thought was really cool. And I also did that on some of the different tree leaf pieces on the ground and stuff like that. And I think you'll agree with me that having the green is a lot easier to look at and a lot nicer to look at when you finish the modding for the set. So after completing the landscape, going over it once or twice, I pretty much ran up to my hour limit. It actually went by really fast, but the most important thing, guys, was the fact that all of the play features remained the same. You could still twist the little sidebar right here for all the functions. You could still lift up the roof. You could still open the floors and everything like that. This was super important because I didn't want to lose that aspect of the set. This is what makes the Home Alone idea set so awesome, and I did not want to lose any of those play features. And the way that we ended up modding it today, if you followed my step-by-step, you don't lose any of those features, which is awesome. After completing the Home Alone mod and doing everything I can to transform it into a modular compatible building, all that was left was to grab the other modulars in my collection, and I started putting everything together. Now, this looks awesome. It fit very nicely. I ended up putting the police station to the right of it, and then I ended up putting the bookshop to the left. The police station and the bookshop are two of my favorite modulars, and I think they look really cool. The only thing that I would have done if I had more time was actually add maybe like a little part of the street. That way it's not like the sidewalk leading in to the McAllister home. That way it would make a little bit more sense. But for me, in the time frame that I had, I thought this looked really, really fun, and I definitely wanted to share this with you guys. I think it looks cool, honestly. Having a driveway would have definitely been nice if I had more time and more pieces available at the moment, but I think just having the McAllister home being able to fit with other modulars is really cool. So I'm excited to see everyone pick this set up on November 1st when it does release. Like I said, guys, check out my review video if you want to see more in depth about all the awesome features in this set. But I think having this lined up next to modulars is something really cool that I might honestly keep in my own collection. And this, granted, was a really fast mod of the actual Home Alone set. It really wasn't that hard, and the greatest thing is you guys can do this on your own, and I'm sure you guys have almost all of these pieces. They're not hard to find, and what's awesome about it is you can make your own landscape. If you want to do something different than I did, I love it. You can make something else. You can make the driveway, you can make the street, you can make the other houses maybe even, but for me, I wanted to include a larger snowy landscape, especially now that we're entering the holiday season. Putting them all together, and it's super, super cool. I love the end product. This was actually a really fun idea. I wanted to give a huge thanks to David for actually suggesting this idea to me, which was awesome. So thumbs up, David. Thank you, bro. Let me know what you guys think. Do you prefer the Home Alone as a modular, so that way you can fit it into other modulars or even in your own Lego city, or do you like the house standalone? But again, the most important thing is that we changed the Home Alone set to where you could fit it with other modulars and still retained all of the awesome play features, which was the most important thing. So thank you guys for watching. Drop a like down below if you guys found today's video exciting, entertaining, or even helpful to you. If you're going to be picking up the Home Alone set, let me know down below in the comments. I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Which one is better, modular Home Alone or regular Home Alone? For me, modular's cool. You get to fit it with other sets, and it looks super cool in a collection. Maybe even gonna put it up behind me soon, so you guys will have to find out. And also, one quick thing, non-Home Alone related, guys, there is a hint as to what the next video will be somewhere in this screen right now. Not gonna want to miss it. I'll talk to you guys later. Take it easy. Peace.